So the Chiefs now look like they've got back on the good foot today. And, it's interesting because you laid that big number today out here in the desert. And, Wes, if I had a live camera on you when they were down 14-0 to the Raiders?
I almost wrote it off. I was like, wait a minute, what is going on here? Because the money, there was a sharp move on the Chiefs on Friday, and then there was a little bit of buyback at 10 because it was like, hey, the Raiders are playing hard for Antonio Pierce every single week. They're engaged, and they covered against Miami, even though Miami, I think, was the clear better team, but they somehow hung in the number with Miami. And then they get up 14-0, and it's like, because the Chiefs, man, they had really been struggling, especially in the second halves. They had not scored a touchdown in the second half since the end of October. So it's been over a full month for the Chiefs. Keep in mind there was a bye week in that time frame somewhere. But
they got out of the funk, certainly in the second half today.
They did, and they dominated and rolled away. Mahomes, his usual great self, 27-34, 298, 2 touchdowns. The receivers actually stepped up. Kelsey, 6 for 91, but Rashee Rice, maybe that's a receiver that Mahomes can trust. Because Marquez Valdez-Scantling only got like one ball thrown his way.
Oh, don't bring that name up too soon. I know. Soon.
Well, I was here with the guy you call the King of New York, the great Will Hill.
Yes.
And I were doing VSiN tonight when Matt was out in Hawaii for a few days, and we were watching that game. We were both on the Chiefs in that game, and there were just so many things that went wrong, Dave. There was Kelsey's fumble. Andy Reid punting 4th and 4 at the Eagles 39. You're trying to gain field position. It's like they got down the field in like 2 plays.
Yeah, let's try to bury these teams.
Yeah, it's like you got Patrick Mahomes, dude. It's not like you got freaking Mac Jones back there.
Yes.
You got Patrick freaking Mahomes.
You got the MVP.
You let him make a play, and it's like if he throws a pick or he gets fumbled or stripped, I'll live with it. I'm going down with my best guy, and that's what the Chiefs did today. I thought, sluggish start, and then eventually, because if you look at the stats, pretty damn even. 360 to 358, same amount of plays, same yards per play. Raiders were actually better running the ball, 23 for 123. Third down conversions, about 50% for both. Chiefs did have more first downs. The time of possession was equal, but I just thought that they made the plays when they had to, and took advantage of it. I'm looking at the stat. This is bizarre, Dave. The Raiders had no penalties today. The Raiders, the most penalized team in the history of professional football.
That almost seems...
Had no penalties.
That seems impossible.
No, right? I know. It's like, just because you're the Raiders, it's like you have to have one personal foul, at least a game, just to live up to the reputation.
Yeah, wearing the silver and black.
Yeah, it's like we're obligated.
Yeah,
we're the Renegades. We're the Raiders.
Al Davis is probably rolling over in his grave a little bit on that one.
How could you not take a personal foul? How could you not... face mask somebody and turn his head around like The Exorcist.
Absolutely. And now the Chiefs going to go on the road and take on the Packers. And I love the Packers on the Thanksgiving spot. I was one of the few that actually, I didn't know that they were going to win the game outright, but I did like them in that spot. And they had not played, to me, since week 1 when they beat the Bears in the opening week. They played a complete football game on the road Thursday against a really good football team in Detroit. That gives me hope as somebody's got some tickets on the Packers over 7.5 wins, kind of resurrecting their season.
Yeah.
It's a tall order. We get it. But are they live to you catching 7 at home?
Remember a couple of years ago when Jordan Love made his first start? It was in Kansas City.
And it did not look good.
No, I think they got a late cover. I think it was like 13-0, really late.
Did.
This is when we were doing the Green Zone on Sundays here on VSiN.
Great memory.
And somehow, some way, they got a touchdown there at the end.
13-7, I believe.
Yeah. And now getting 7 at home. Look, today felt like a get-right spot for Kansas City, even though they did start out slow. And they eventually did get right. But I wonder with Green Bay if they have turned a corner, because it's like I kind of want to buy in and I kind of don't. I'm kind of a little bit reluctant.
Well, they need to get after Patrick Mahomes the way they got after Jared Goff if they're going to have any shot at covering.
They need to get a little bit healthier, too.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones still questionable with the knee. He did not go on Thanksgiving. Couple injuries in the secondary with Darnell Savage, Jair Alexander, who's their best cover corner.
Yeah, they need everybody.
You need all hands on deck here. But they started out well, and I think they caught a flat team.
Yep.
Basically, they caught Detroit flat. Jordan Love probably played maybe his best game as a starter.
I thought so.
22 of 32, 268, 3 touchdowns. Didn't fumble either. Seems like he's developing a chemistry of Christian Watson, who had 5 for 94. And, I think this team is coming along. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think 7 is probably right. Small lean to Green Bay, though, and we're even seeing a couple of faraway stores and one right behind us that's not so far away here at Circus Sports, seeing some 6.5.
Ooh, interesting.
So that tells you there's a little bit of support out there for Green Bay, and that's my lean here.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.